Friday.
Fused.
1, carry the 3, add
Remainder
the
of 6. 5:38 is your time. Kristen Aguirre live this morning at Quincy Central Fire Station.
Yeah, she's learning about National Fire Prevention Month. How's it going, Kristen?
It's going good. I am here with Quincy Fire Department's public education team. They're going to tell us why this month is so important.
Well, the summer is a really busy time for wildland firefighters and that kind of thing, and for, city firefighters or structural firefighters, it's the winter. So now's the perfect time of year to kind of, remind people about the things that we normally take for granted. People are starting to button up their houses, and, when it starts getting cold, people have creative ways of, keeping warm, and we just want to make sure everybody stays safe and can protect themselves during the season.
What are some of the most common maybe house fires that you see during this season?
Well, getting deeper into the winter, definitely space heaters are a big problem. Dried out decorations when you start getting into the holiday season and that kind of thing. Electrical problems, so there's many different types. So.
And a lot of these things can be prevented by just having common things in your household, right?
Yeah, by just by checking, you can really prevent a lot of that kind of stuff. And then especially for this day and age, in this modern age, where we have so many synthetics in our homes, a small fire can turn into a really big problem really quickly.
All right. Well, coming up later in the show, the public education team and Michael Dade here are going to show us ways that you can keep your house safe. If you have any questions, make sure you tweet me at Kristen Aguirre, or make sure you put your question on our Facebook page.
All right, question away. If you can prevent forest fires, who knew he was talking to Kristen Aguirre?
I did not, and I'm sure Kristen didn't know either, but she's learning about fire prevention this morning. How's it going, Kristen?
It's going good. I am here at the Quincy Fire Department Central Station, and I'm hanging out with the fire department's public education team. With me now is Jerry Mass from the team to tell us a little bit about a household item you should have to help you prevent fires.
All right, we're here to talk about smoke detectors today. And in the United States last year, every 23 seconds, a fire department responded to a working fire. Out of the statistics from those fires, it was proven that smoke detectors give you a 2-time better chance of surviving that fire than without one. And they don't work without being tested and without having batteries in them. So we need to make sure that, we're changing the batteries every 6 months. Once a month, we're pressing our push to test button, making sure that they sound and that they're working. As far as location on these smoke detectors, we like to have them 15 feet from every sleeping area in the house and at least one on every level of the home. We try to ask people to keep them out of the kitchens due to the nuisance alarms from cooking. We don't want these to become food timers. We want kids to, when these go off, we want kids to know, hey, I need to get out of this house. I need to go to my meeting place and stay safe. We don't want them sitting there waiting for mom and dad to open up the windows and turn the fans on. So try to keep these away from the kitchen so they don't alarm a nuisance alarm, and hopefully, when there is a fire, these will go off and everybody will be safe.
And can we test it?
Yes, all we have to do is push this little button here. All these detectors are a little different, but by pushing the button, we'll get it to beep, and you know that this detector is ready to go.
Is it common that lights change colors when they're running out of battery?
Every detector is different. If you look at the back of the detector, it will tell you exactly what this detector will do if there is a low battery or if it's alarmed. So if you read the back, you can get the instructions on what the beeps mean and what the lights mean.
All right, perfect. So basically, here's your first line of defense, your smoke detector. So make sure you have these installed. If you have any other questions or comments, make sure to ask me on our Facebook page or go ahead and tweet me at Kristen Aguirre.
Melissa, Kristen Aguirre is live this morning at Quincy Central Fire Station with some important information.
She's learning about National Fire Prevention Month. How's it going, Kristen?
It's good. We have moved inside of the fire department's safety house. And what do we use this for?
This is what we use to teach people how to get out of their house in case of a fire. In the schools right about now, they're practicing their fire drills and that kind of thing. And so what we do with this is we take this to all the schools in Quincy, 3rd grade and 5th grade, and we just kind of piggyback right onto their fire drills, and we talk to them about how to get out of their house in case of a fire. So this is set up like a small house, small version of a house. We have an upstairs bedroom and a downstairs bedroom. We don't, we have a kitchen here, but we don't really use this too much. But what it allows us to do is kind of put the kids in a setting not unlike what they would have at home. Obviously, the room is smaller and the room is different, and we stress that they have to, go home and practice on their windows and their doors and that kind of thing. All of it unlocks and operates a little bit differently, but, it kind of breaks up their school day, for one, and reminds them about having some kind of fire escape plan in the house. And then we hope that they go home, talk to mom and dad about it, whoever, lives in their home with them. And we want everybody to practice, not just the kids, but mom, dad, and so we just kind of take them through, all the different steps and talk to them about the different components of a fire safety drill in their home.
So Officer Michael Dade here is part of the Quincy Fire Department's public education team. Was it important to kind of have this branch of the fire department to educate kids at such a young age about fire safety? Yeah,
that's one of our first responsibilities as firefighters is first extinguishment, and fire protection. But second, the most efficient way that we can fight fires is through prevention. And so that's what we want to do. The more public messages that we get out there, and the more we educate people on safety and how they can, prevent the fire in the first place, we do the community a better service that way.
All right, well, coming up later in the show, we're going to put this safety house to the test and show you some ways that you can keep your house safe from fires.
Yes, and I like you hit the kids with the prevention, they go home and tell the adults what to do. That's what happens.
Yep. Yes, which is always good.
All right, over to the weather station this morning, learning all about fire prevention, which is the #1 way to prevent a fire.
Kristen.
Thank you for that introduction, Chad. Well, October is National Fire Prevention Month, and I am here with Quincy Fire Department's public education team. Michael Dade's part of that team. What do we have going on here?
Well, again, this is our fire safety house, and we're in one of the bedrooms. And part of the reason why we have this set up with the bedrooms is because when people are sitting around in their house during the day, they're more aware of what's going on in their house. And we want to practice this, for worst case scenario. We train for the worst, hope for the best kind of a thing. So we bring this to the schools. We have the kids pretend as if they're sleeping. You see there's a bed here. Usually we'll have this door closed, and then we also have somebody back in our control room so we can get this thing all smoked up. We have control of the actual smoke detector right here. So whenever the kids are ready, we get the smoke going in here. I'll turn the smoke detector on, and then they're taught that they have to crawl off of the bed. Crawl low and smoke, because obviously, you can't see, but they crawl low and smoke, and then they crawl to the door. And if you look inside the control room, there's actually a temperature gauge. We have heaters inside the doors, and so they're taught to feel the door with their hand first, because we don't open warm doors. Obviously, if your door is warm and your smoke detectors are going off, there's probably a fire on the other side. People don't have heated doors except in our fire safety house. So the kids are taught to crawl off the bed, crawl to the door, and feel the door with their hand. They'll feel that door is warm. It'll actually be in the middle of the door on the other side.
You feel
Yeah,
it right over here.
The door would normally be closed.
Oh, you could feel it warming up already.
Exactly. So they feel that heat on that door, and again, we teach them that you can't open a warm door because there's fire on the other side, and they have to have a second way out. And so what they'll do is they'll come over here to the window. We show them how to unlock the window here, and then they just open it up. One of the components of our fire escape plan in the home is having a family meeting place. So that's something that we'll talk to them about. So once they leave and go outside, we'll go to a family meeting place. We'll all meet up. And then there's a phone inside there. We plug it up to the outside of this house, and then they all get a chance to hear what a 911 call sounds like, because we have somebody in there with the 911 script. So.
All right, perfect. Well, we've learned how to get out of the room safely by touching the door, but what about getting out of your window? So coming up later in the show, we're going to show you why ladders are always so important to have in your house.
All right, there is a lot of rain. Kristen Aguirre pops up in our magical little TV here because she is live this morning at Quincy Central Fire Station.
Yes, how's it going, Kristen?
It's going good. We are learning all about October is National Fire Prevention Month, and we've been learning about smoke detectors and having escape plans in your house. But now we're learning about something else that's vital.
Today we're going to talk about this last part. We're going to talk about fire safety ladders, fire escape ladders. The big message this year is having 2 ways out, and we encourage everyone that has any family members that have sleeping rooms on the 2nd floor to purchase one of these fire escape ladders.
We have one here with you, right?
Right here. This is one that's multiple use, and that's what we encourage people to buy. Some are just one-time use only. We encourage people to buy some that are for multiple use, so that way they can practice and actually use these in their fire escape plans whenever they practice. The entire family needs to practice at home. We have one set up upstairs here, and we can drop it to show how the ease of use. All you have to do is take it out of the box. It has two pieces that fold out that hang over the windowsill, and then just a piece of Velcro on these type ladders that you have to flip open, and the rungs just extend down. And they have different size ladders. They have a 2-story ladder, a 3-story ladder, and you can actually get longer ladders if needed.
All right, so let's see how this works.
Okay.
Grab and drop it.
He's got it hooked over what's simulated the window ledge.
So it is relatively simple. It's pulling a snatch, really easy for kids to just go ahead and use it and climb on out.
Right, they just have to pull that one little piece of Velcro, and the thing unfolds. It's got the pegs that actually push against the house whenever you climb down, whenever you put weight on it, and it keeps the rungs out away from the house. That way you can put your feet on the ladder and climb down, and it's easy. It's not too heavy as far as the weight on it that the younger kids can lift it. It's small and compact with the box, so you can store it under the bed and a closet so they know where it's at.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Jerry. Jerry's with the Quincy Fire Department's public education team. So here I heard it right here. Make sure you have 2 ways out, including one with a ladder.
It's also important to have a family meeting spot as well. Mine was always the front.
Right, so we talked about the last session. Make sure, get out of the house and have your family plan.
And here's my advice for the ladders, because it's something you probably wouldn't think to buy yourself. With Christmas coming up, buy it for a loved one and give it to them as a gift.
Absolutely.
And then make sure they install it would be key.
I don't think you need to install it. They need to practice with it.
There you go.
Yeah.